Their countdown's going to get started here soon. And speaking of which, there they go. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, looks like Resistingframe and Stuntrooster both going into Brightman first. That away. That's what we like to see. Brightman first strats. That's what I do. That's what is a really good, you know, safe route to go. Obviously, Pharaoh first will save a little bit more time if you maximize your movement and some balloon strats there. But coming up on these first few totem poles, these grasshoppers here will actually jump big or jump small. It's really kind of up to them. They got a mind of their own, I like to say. But you can usually get through them with a little bit of patience and some good mashing on them totem poles. It takes 8 shots to get those totem poles down. Whereas if you went Pharaoh first and come in and use the Pharaoh shot, it only takes 3 shots of Pharaoh shot to get those down. Or you can just balloon your way through in this screen here. Cut down on some of that RNG up for the grasshoppers and some of that lag on screen. Resistingframe took a nice little back key boost with a spike slide there. That was hot. That's really the name of the game, is get through this screen as fast as you can without creating a bunch of lag with those grasshoppers on screen, bullets on screen, drops on screen that can really slow you down. This runner's getting through really nicely. Resistingframe on a slight lead here, but not too far ahead of Stunt. Brightman's stage is pretty straightforward. Once you get a good route optimized, it's pretty much the same thing every time. It's not too many surprises. Now, Resistingframe first one to come into Brightman's fight. Brightman's fight is unique, where he will flash you on screen at 16, 8, and 4 health values. So you kind of want to offset that by shooting 1 lemon shot within the first 3 full charge shots, and then the rest of them, you got to make sure you get those full charge shots where Mayman will turn a little shade of green there. That's when you know you got the full charge going. Resisting making a good Brightman fight. Meanwhile, Stuntrooster making his way through the fight. Pretty good going here. Looks like they've both got the health value trick down. Stunt had a little bit of issues with Brightman being a jumpy McGee, but he got him down. No big deal. Moving on to Pharaoh. Now, this is where things get interesting. We get our first weapon of the game, this bright stopper, this flash stopper here, this freeze time stopper thing, majig. This will flash all the enemies on screen, and you'll be able to slide right through these screens, no problem. The trick is the global countdown for the flash stopper is about 5 seconds, but while you're sliding, it won't count down, so you can stretch each screen out really far. Actually, you can make it go the whole duration of the screen in some places. Other places you have to flash maybe one more time, but usually if you have really good movement, you can make the flash pretty much last the entire screen. So looks like Resistingframe got that balloon get really nicely. Stuntrooster often take our coil strats here. That's really smart move to do, especially in a tournament situation. Breaking out coil there to jump over that pit, because that is tough pit to really get down. Because last thing you want to do is miss your balloon jump, because then you gotta take a death and start all the way at the beginning. Waste a lot of time. So the only thing you really have to take a death on is those ladybugs, and they only do like, what, 4 HP of damage each time, so it's kind of slow. So they're getting through these moving platforms here. You can manipulate those platforms not to shoot the bullets out of the side of their heads. It'll save some on-screen lag. Not much, not a lot, but it adds up. Resistingframe making his way to the Pharaoh fight. Meanwhile, Stuntrooster on the last screen right before the fight, so still pretty close together. Now, Pharaoh can do one of 3 things. He can just stand there and shoot his little Pharaoh shot at you. He can jump to your location, or he can jump kind of a real big arc jump across, big gaps. But I think we're going to see about half and half for Resisting. A little bit of jumps, a little bit of standing still. Obviously, when I can try to kill him a little bit closer to the center of the screen, but Pharaoh likes to be a jerk in ways where he'll jump kind of at the last minute to the corner, so kind of look at there, Stuntrooster getting a jumpy Pharaoh, and hopefully he'll stay here for the rest. There he goes. Not bad. Now you can get a fanfare skip here if you jump at the right time. Once these bullets, the particles are off screen, you can jump there, get a fanfare skip, but it's really hard to do. It's a little bit more trickier than the dive man set up for. Now we see Resisting Frame going into Ring Man, using those balloons to get through this vertical really quickly. Got a little bit of trouble, had to do a little double hit on that first turret, so he's got to be careful because this stage is so tightly routed where your health is going to be really at risk and your ammo is going to be really at risk. But he did a nice job getting through that top turret without taking damage, so that will kind of offset his worry a little bit. Stuntrooster doing the same, making his way through using balloons. See Resisting Frame switching to Pharaoh. This from that first hippo on, you'll use Pharaoh. The idea is to not, you don't want to, menu a bunch of times. You want to stay, use a weapon and kind of stick with it throughout the duration of the stage. Only switch when you have to. Stuntrooster having a little bit of different strategies here. He's using Flash Stopper, which, like I said, you can take advantage of the Flash Stopper in ways, making this whole screen's a lot easier to deal with, a lot more consistent, a lot more safe. Whereas using Pharaoh, you got to get these enemies off screen as fast as you can, and get this lag reduction strats going here. Blue Stuntrooster got tinked off of the middle Slinky boss. Oh man, he's having some troubles connecting. There he goes. That boss can be a pain sometimes. Looks like Resisting Frame decided to take a back boost off that last one just to kind of help him on health, because that last Slinky will, you kind of want to take a deboost off him, but it takes a lot of life out of you. So he opted to take the back deboost, save a little bit of life just in case Ringman decides to be ornery. But he had no problem getting through Ringman. Ringman's pretty straightforward. It's got no RNG to him. He does the same thing over and over again, so it's easy to predict what he's going to do. Zoom Frame making it out of Ringman. Nicely done. Nicely done. About 7:30. That's a good time. Like Stuntrooster opted to do the same thing. Take that back deboost. That's smart. You don't want to come to Ringman with just 2 HP. I've been there. Because it really increases your anxiety of this fight exponentially. Having some little bit of health and a little bit of ammo. But both runners, come to Ringman with good amount of health, good amount of ammo, so they should be doing pretty good here. Yep, Stuntrooster did a really great job. Resisting Frame and Dustman using Flash Stopper to freeze all these enemies on screen. It makes these next couple screens a lot easier to deal with. You can use Feral Shot in these first screens to kind of help you through, get faster a little bit, but it's a lot more dangerous, a lot more tricky.
Pretty fun.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
Pretty fun though. Hello, by the way. I'm here.
Yeah. It definitely is. It was fun to use Feral Shot there, and it's really aesthetically pleasing because it looks really cool. But man, is it hard.
Pretty tricky. It's funny whenever I try to go to do Bright. Sometimes I'll miss menu and go to Bright, and then I don't even remember it. But it's pretty slightly faster. I think for a lot of runners, it really comes down to what you prefer to do. Just because it's just one of those strats that both are just fine. So.
Right. I use Flash Stopper with the lag room because it's something, like you said, it's something I prefer using because it's something familiar with me. My muscle memory is shaped to using it there, so introducing new strats always hard because you got to really grind that room out and get that new strat, really familiar with it. But I still use Bright Stopper because I'm slow.
No, for sure. I think that's a good thing to do, is to know what works for you.
Yeah.
And there are some people even will ask hey, are you still going to go for this hard strat in a race or an event? And my answer is similar to what you said. Sometimes you just go with what because you can do it consistently and safely. I actually just recently had a situation where I went to do some different strats for safety and then messed those strats up. So,
Oh man. Yeah, it's easy to do. Sometimes it's better off just to stick it with with what you know. You can have to do some backup strats every now and then. It could throw you off, but both runners look like they're doing pretty consistent runs here for how they usually run in other runs that I've seen them do. They're sticking pretty with what they know, also. So doing pretty
yeah,
well.
they're both playing a pretty good game. And Resistingframe going into Skull here. It's another balloon stage. Going to take little zip there. It's only zip that we see in RTA. There's some cool zips in the task, but as far as for what we do in the run, there's that. But the balloon stages are always a lot of fun and really cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll get to see Flash Stopper at the end and start using it for the crazy stuff that we use it. Well, actually, because of Bright, we see it in Pharaoh and see it a little bit in Dust too. So,
I like the Stuntrooster's little strat there. He had like 2 HP on midway through Dustman fight, and he opted to use a E-Tank he got from Eddie to kind of help his health, fill his health back up. And immediately after he used the E-Tank, Dustman sucked him, so he was able to, take that body shot off Dust and get him down. That was really smart by Stuntrooster.
Good call. I normally I forget that I have something like an E-Tank. That's a good call.
It's good situational awareness, being aware of your health values and being aware of what Eddie gave you, being like, hey, I need to adjust slightly and move on, and it did a really good job.
For sure. Heading into Skull now. Skull is a pretty fixed fight. The only thing that's different is the shield. It has some RNG to it, but ideally you should get the same thing every time because you can manipulate it. He reacts to your movement. I'm getting a pretty bad shield from Skull. Not the worst one. Ooh, nice little slide under Skull there. Skull's about to stump him. No problem for Frame.
And it looks like Stuntrooster just got another juice box from Eddie. Man, Eddie is just helping old Stunt out with these E-Tanks, man. That's pretty good.
Juice boxes.
Yeah, juice box hype. That's right.
All right, coming into dive. So if there's a foreground tile in front of Mega Man, he cannot jump out of a slide. So ladders, water, that kind of thing. If Mega Man's basically got something going on top of him, he's not able to jump out of that slide. So I'm curious to see if Frame's going to do some slide cancels. That'd be kind of cool. But if he'll probably be playing safely. But basically, if you want to do some really fast strats here, you can go for these cancels. It feels a little different than Mega Man 6, which is Frame's home turf. Very good runner, Mega Man 6 runner. But no, he's playing well. We're going to be using Flash Stopper throughout the whole stage until the very end when we switch to Skull for a strat. Some runners opt to not even do that. Ooh, Frame just jumping, just not quite making it over. Not too bad. It's a huge bummer to die and dive because you lose Flash Stopper, and because you use it throughout the whole stage. You basically don't want to waste any ammo. But so if you're gonna die, the earlier the better, so you can make use of that ammo. Got a little bit of ammo there from Immense, so that's good. And Stuntrooster having an opportunity to catch up here as he heads into dive.
Very good whale mashing here by Resistingframe, getting that 2 cycle. Only had about 2 shots left on the second jump there, but that was pretty good. Yeah,
Frame is definitely. I mean, he's an experienced runner, and you can see that come out for sure, and all the different stuff that he does.
Oh, that's what he needed right there. Eddie just, man, really helping out both runners. Got Resistingframe with some bright ammo there. That's really going to help him out.
Woke up on the good side of the bed this morning. Was ready to be helpful to Mega Man and all his runs.
So Rooster getting through his first whale. Wow, Resistingframe just, man, I love that mashing that Resistingframe's doing right there. Good job. Ooh, gotta be careful. Didn't want to get wire there unless you're mellow or mod, You can still sub 40 with wire.
Gosh, yeah, that was phenomenal. What a race, by the way. That's in the Discord and the VODs. I'm gonna hopefully make a list of those, but definitely check that out. We've had some amazing runs, and these runners are doing good. Like, we've had a couple little mistakes, but nothing super insane. So
I like how they're taking it nice and safe. You know, it's a good thing to see in a tournament and race atmosphere to kind of see nice, safe, consistent strats used.
I wonder what it's like to be smart like that, because I'm not.
Resisting got the center pixel, but he didn't quite get the jump in time to get the fast early exit there with skipping that fanfare. But at least he got the center pixel there. That saves about what 70 frames ish, somewhere around there.
About I think a little over a second.
Yeah.
And then the other one some good time too. So if your run is really, really, really tight and optimized, it's pretty a big deal to get that stuff.
Stunt gonna have to be careful. He doesn't want to get hit by a dive man here. Oh yeah, got him. Nice job. Nice job.
So Frame heading on into Drill, another Flash Stopper stage. It's a pretty satisfying stage when it's going right. It's not too crazy. Pretty fun. The boss though is infamous for being a run killer. Drill can dive in the ground, and whenever he does, it wastes a little over 4 seconds, I believe. So, and there's nothing, unlike Dust, there's nothing you can do to stop it. With Dust, you can crash into him to interrupt his attack. With Drill, you just have to deal with it. So, basically, we just hope for the best. But I mean, these runners have had some good luck so far, so maybe Drill will be pretty nice to us. We'll see.
Right, that'd be interesting to see what kind of luck Drill gives him. Hopefully, we'll see a no dive for both. That'd be great. Good.
Question in chat from Darkness: what does the wire do? The wire inspires deep despair in runners because they fall in the pit and they get it, and you feel very sad. What it really does is if you hold up, some people don't know this. If you hold up when you have the wire equipped, you'll get a really cool sprite of Mega Man looking up, and if you press B, he'll fire the wire up. It's pretty cool. I think if it actually had some way to significantly impact the run that was different and unique, I think people would do it for 100%, but it just does not change anything at all. So here we're going to dive, trying to pull him out of the corner in order to get him to walk, as you see him walking like that. When Drill starts walking, he will walk all the way to the other wall, so you can maximize your surface time. Get one dive there.
Right at the end of his life. There we go. One dive Drill's pretty good. That's good drill fight by Resistingframe.
Yeah, go ahead. You can talk about the screen.
Stuntrooster making his way through this last screen here. If you can chain your movement just right using the flash stopper, you can make it last the entire screen. Usually, most people have to do 2 flash stoppers to make it all the way through. But that sliding, like I said earlier, when you're sliding while that flash is active, it won't count down. That global countdown won't count down, and you can stretch your flash stopper throughout the whole stage almost. Or screen, I mean, sorry. Stuntrooster getting a pretty decent drill man going here. Dove once there. You can't always expect Drill Man to be nice, because it's in his nature to be a jerk and dive a couple times.
Yeah, he doesn't care who he hurts. He'll just do it. He just does it. And yes, this is Rush Marine, which unfortunately, even casually, I feel like just does not have many opportunities to be used. Even if you go and get it immediately, there's only in couple places, maybe in 8 robos and in castles. So Toadman's a fun stage. Our last stage we'll see the flash stopper being used. Skipping some snails, cruising on through. It's a very difficult stage, I think. I think this is one of the instances in which if you just can know a couple speedrun strats that aren't too hard to use, they can make the game way easier even casually. And I feel like using the flash stopper is definitely one of those things that you can work on without even learning to run the game. It would just make your life easier. Frame getting into Toadman, making it through just fine. Stuntrooster starting out. Toadman's a very hard fight. We could see these runners. It's easy to lose an hour in runs trying to be a Toadman. So we'll just see what happens here. Goes in with a nice drill. Okay. Toadman not using his one-hit kill. And oh wow, really
just clutch. What a clutch fight!
I know, amazing. Just a testament of Frame's amazing skill and adaptability to take out the hardest boss in the history of Mega Man. So.
These waterfalls, a little tricky screen with Stuntrooster. That waterfall section can push you. Those will push you forward, back, you know, and you know, if you don't have your slides down right, you can really fall into a pit and just ruin your run because you got to start all the way back at the beginning. So you got to be careful.
For sure, it really does take learning kind of the sweet spots so you don't get your toes pulled down in there, and you fall and go. So Frame starting the castle stages. They can be very challenging, especially the first two stages. Cossack 1 and 2 there's a lot of opportunities to just lose it all to a missed input or just any kind of goofiness. And most people know Toadman is very easy. Stuntrooster coming into Toad. He's basically programmed to jump when he shoots. So a lot of casual runners will suffer through his crazy, horrible stage just to get in there and get that kill and have a boss power to take in and fight another boss with. Ice physics in here, if you're sliding and jumping right, you don't really feel it too much, but if your movement's off, it can mess you up a little bit.
Yeah, and the only way to really stop sliding on those platforms is take a little jump. Do a little jump and you'll stop your sliding, but like Toad said, if you're sliding right, you won't really much notice it. So it's just when you stop and you keep moving forward. That's the tricky part. Oh, resisting frame getting that B boost there from that last Skeleton Joe. That's good job.
I just need to change my split name for this stage to Mega Man 1 because he's slipping and sliding everywhere.
It's an Iceman stage.
Dangerous screen, but Frame does it well. Makes it look easy for that little... it's a very safe, very consistent strat that he did, but his balloon placement and jumps were very nice. Just cruised.
Yeah, it's interesting that both runners skip that free E-Tank there to the left at the beginning of the stage. It doesn't waste a whole lot of time to get it, but it is there in case you want it. It's probably a little frozen, but it's there.
I actually like my juice boxes from the freezer.
Yeah.
Moth is pretty hard boss fight. The ring has only a 1 pixel hitbox. They give it a big old spray. Oof, come on, stunt. Makes it on through. Those mono rotors, man, that whole screen is a screen where you have to have the rhythm just right. If you move a little too fast, the mono rotor on top will pull to the right and can just really, really ruin your day. Stuntrooster using Bright here. Very nice. Very, very safe and reliable way to get through this very dangerous screen. So not a bad call at all.
It's actually pretty much the only time you'll really see Bright used in the castle stages. You really don't see it much after that.
And Frame going on through Cossack 2, arguably one of the most dangerous and difficult stages in the game. The routing is very tight. You use every bit of balloon and health for very specific reasons, so you can't really afford to make any mistakes without having to change your strategies and rely on a bunch of backups. Frame is doing very well, though. We saw Stunt take Rush Jet in that screen, which is also a very, very good strat. And that's another one that's really good to know just casually. Frame making it up okay, losing a balloon there, but he's fine. If he didn't plan on making it through C, he's out of balloons here, so he's gonna have to improvise a little bit, but he's doing okay. Very nice, very, very good, very smart, very safe. Able to move through cleanly, unimpeded. Heading up to Square Machine. Vet, if you want to talk about the misery that is Square Machine, yeah. My heart is worn over the years. If you would talk about it.
Square Machine can give you a couple different patterns. He can slide through the screen 3 times, 2 times, or 1 before he'll form up into a square, essentially. It's kind of really random. It's really heartbreaking. Getting a 1-1 is like a 1% chance. So the most common pattern is a 3-2. And you see Resisting getting 3 right there, right off the bat. You don't really want to slide underneath him whenever he's going across the screen like that because it will create a little bit of on-screen lag. But Resisting Frame got a good, nice 4 shots in there, it looked like, in the first cycle, so that was good.
Getting a 3-3. Unfortunate. It's not the most common pattern, even. Just the most unlucky.
Yeah, just the most unlucky, yeah. Be interested to see what kind of pattern Stunt gets now, because that could really increase his time a little bit here. Looks like Resisting Frame have to take another cycle here because he missed one shot because he got to be safe with his health. He can't take another hit.
It's a pretty comfortable lead right now to have a little wiggle room to play safely, but not too much. There's a lot that can happen in this game. There's no boss checkpoints in the castle stages, so really any death could, in the right place, could just immediately change the lead. So we'll have to see what happens. Ooh, Stunt taking a little improv here. He's got a lot of health though to bonk around if he needs to. Makes it through, heading on up to square. Hopefully he gets some good luck. While Frame is heading into the auto scroller. Auto scroller isn't too exciting. It's a nice breather after the first two stages. You do have to pay attention, make sure you don't die to something silly. Happens very often to me. But one of the things you can do to make it a little faster is control the lag. A lot of lag you've probably seen in this game already. By taking stuff out, see Frame moving just a little bit, getting on through. You can reduce lag in the screen by limiting your movement while things are on screen, like just waiting to continue until the screen slightly scrolls and gets some of those guys off screen.
Looks like Stuntrooster had a unfortunate first cycle, missed a couple shots, couldn't quite get on there, got knocked off the podium a little bit. So he only got like I think 2 shots on the first cycle, so he might have to take. Yep, he's taking a 3 cycle too. Using a juice box there to get his life up, because man, that's the last thing you want to do is take a death on these castle bosses. Like Toad said, there's no checkpoint room in the corridor. You gotta start all the way back at the last checkpoint in the stage.
Yeah, I do like for these runners, it's something I see is instead of making like really big crazy mistakes, there's a lot of like smaller ones that they have really good recovery from. Like,
right.
There's been a lot of good improv here of like something not going the way they want, but then being able to work with it anyway and not take like a huge crazy loss.
It really shows their experience with this game, and really shows their knowledge as far as what strats to kind of back up with. You know.
For sure. Alright, we got a Frame heading up to Cockroach Twins, and Stunt is just now beginning Cossack through. Oh, we got a donation! Do we have time? I think we have time to read a donation. This one's for my grandma. Oh, Grandma, you're so sweet. It says, we are so very proud of you, Vet. Oh, we're so very proud of you, Vet. Thank you for everything you do. We think about you every day and never stop dreaming.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, looking Grandma.
Wow. Anyway, so we have Cockroach Twins here. This is another fight that's typically scripted. Goes the same. Frame does it well. You don't want to goof around in there too much. If you lose ammo, you're going to suffer later with the capsule fight. We might be seeing them take refills. I don't know. Frame looks. We'll see. There's a nice, easy, free refill at the beginning of this stage coming up here.
Yeah, that's one thing we have to shout out real quick. By the way, happy Father's Day out there to everybody. All the Dr. Lights in the world, happy Father's Day.
Yeah, speaking of Father's Day, we'll be celebrating a little later in this game, if you know what I mean. We'll save that joy for when it comes up. But Frame, I believe he did take the refill. Just going to be cruising on through this stage. Pretty short stage. Another good breather. Short, not too demanding. The catcher fight can go wrong very fast if you're not careful, but it's not too bad at all. In the words of Kumba during his qualifier heat, when he unfortunately died, this isn't even a stage.
Yeah.
Yes, one of my favorite lines of defeat ever. Like, this isn't even a stage.
That cracked me up, man. I was laughing all the time. Whenever I watched that back, that was hilarious.
So, Stuntrooster heading into Cockroach Twins. Hopefully he has a good fight here.
The moonwalk strats, look at that, that's beautiful. That absolutely does nothing as far as saving time or losing time. It's a nice little thing to do. It's pretty cool. You can really mind blow your friends by playing this game, by doing that.
So I think they might be playing the DLC after this, but this is actually the first Mega Man game where Wily is not the boss.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm glad they went with that decision because I think if they had Wily be the boss for every game, that would set a bad precedent moving into the future. So it's pretty cool that they decided to do that. So that's pretty much the end of the game, but we'll see some... Wait, what's this?
Wait,
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Come on now.
Oh.
What? Mind blown.
He straight up said, "I'm going to break you, Mega Man."
Wow.
It's quite a declaration.
Man, Dr. Wily needs to pump the brakes here, smoke another Virginia Slims. You don't want to be threatening Mega Man. What?
He's having a tough day. We all sympathize.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there. We've all built a giant skull castle and tried to take over the world to resolve our inner conflicts. But heading into the Wily stages, this first stage actually is the Met stage. Very cool stage. Every single enemy in it is a Met, including the boss, who we will be wishing a very happy Father's Day to.
Yeah, you'll see different types of Mets here. Some that are normal Mets, some dancing Mets, some big fat Mets, but they're all working out the equal opportunity Met stage right here. Everybody's a Met. Let's go Mets.
They are living in harmony.
That's right.
It's very good. Although it's a little sad for Toadman. Toadman has to live in a sewer, and then these guys get the nice plumbing in the bathroom.
Right.
So,
well, you can't infiltrate Wily's castle through the front door. You got to come in through the sewer.
Come on, it's a pretty mellow stage, though. Really. Sorry, I know. I want to talk about. Vet, I could joke with you all day, man. We're on that level, but I'm trying to stay reined in on the commentary. Stuntrooster finishing up the catcher, making smart use of the slides. Sliding affects this game in weird ways, as we've already seen, but it prevents him from having horizontal movement. It traps him and keeps him moving vertically. But makes it through. Frame coming in on Met Daddy. Happy Father's Day. That is his real name, Metal Daddy.
And he has a little bit of different patterns to him, too. He can jump big, jump small, open late, open early, but your ideal is you want to take a deboost off the smaller Mets and get to the other side without taking too much damage, because he does hit like a Mack truck. And you want to get, I think you can get, 5 shots each cycle, I think?
Yeah, so you can get 6 on a long cycle, and then if you're super crazy fast, you can get 5. If you're really tight with the iframe, you can get 5 on a small cycle. You risk losing a little ammo if you go for that 5th hit, but you should be able to reliably get 4 on a short and 6 on a long. He can also delay a little bit in between cycles for when he'll open, so you can lose a little time there too. Some deceptively large amount of RNG in that fight. Heading into Wily 2, it's the dog stage. I like all the purple, it's cool, and we're going to see Rush used a lot. He has to be used at 2 points in the stage, where you definitely have to be using some kind of platform to get up. So from the first time you switched to do that to Rush Jet, you just keep him on. You'll be seeing them summon Rush Jet at times where they're not going to be using him, but in order to use the Buster, you have to have Rush Jet on screen. Ooh, Frame. Oh, Frame. Being very smart, resetting Rush Jet so we can keep him going the right way.
Yeah, the idea here by using Jet through the whole stage is to minimize the amount of time you're in the menu. So it's like about 2 seconds each time you come in and out. But Resistingframe did a nice job of re-summoning Zet, selecting Met by going back into the menu there to change his direction. Because he called him down and faced him the wrong way, and it's Rush will summon whichever direction you're facing. So
Frame making it on through, taking out the mono rotors. Coming up on Taco Trash, really interesting boss fight. We'll see what strats they decide to go with. The first thing you do though is you usually, oh no, Frame! Rush accidentally taking a bonk into the block and having to take a death on some spikes. Still has a reasonable lead, so this is going to set him back 2 back. But like I said, because there's no boss checkpoints and a lot of ways to die, enough of that could close it up, and we still have refights. Stuntrooster taken very smart use of E-tanks in this run. Like I said earlier, there's been a lot of quick thinking on the fly, and you can see them doing the mental work real fast and making it happen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Resistingframe had to take that death there because, you know, Jet run into something, he'll despawn. So you gotta be careful with those blocks, and that if you go too low, you hit that block and fall straight into the spikes. It's never a good day for Mega Man whenever he's landing on spikes.
Yeah, Dr. Wily should just make Spike Man.
Right?
And just call it a day. So we're heading in with Toad, firing the Toad bullet. It skips the life fill. And then Taco Trash, I guess, is marked for being destructible, if I understand it right. Kind of like those walls you blow up. So you hit him in the weak spot with the wall, with the drill, and it just completely annihilates his hitbox for it to be able to hit you. So you can just walk inside of him and ice him from behind like that. Good job, Frame. Frame actually on a good pace. If you were looking at his splits, it only just briefly turned red, I think, before he hit the split. So he only lost a little time there. I can't see his splits for sure, but he might be on a decent pace. So we'll see what happens here.
Nice good pace here for Stun also, I think. He's pretty doing really well too. He said they both had a couple small mistakes, but they're both doing really well with you know, using some smart backup strats. Like
ammo. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I just wasn't sure if Resistingframe's gonna have enough dust ammo. He decided not to kill those ballerina enemies just because he wanted to conserve his ammo because it's a little bit shy. But I think he'll be at bright just enough if he doesn't miss too many shots.
Yeah, if he plays well, he should be fine for dust. So some clever optimization in the boss fight routes in order to save on some menus in the order that you do. So you go into Pharaoh first and you use the soft weakness dust. I believe it does 2 damage. So with the iframes that Pharaoh has, it's just faster to consistently be able to do 2 as opposed to doing charge shots or using his weakness bright, which is absolutely slow. But you can use dust and then head immediately into Skull. And we're going to hope for a good Skull shield here. Stuntrooster taking care of Taco Trash, no problem.
Yep, now we're both runners are in refights now. So. Oh no, there it is.
He missed, yeah, so he's going to have to make up with Buster.
See, that's what you want to do whenever in refights is you want to kill the boss while you're standing in that teleporter, so that way you can get out of that refight and go on to the next one as fast as possible there.
Taking out Dive Man and going to be using Skull going into Bright. So I don't know if we mentioned this earlier, Bright will only freeze you at 16, 8, and 4 health. So it's going to go in and use Skull Shield and do an odd number of hits, which will set his health values up in such a way that when he switches to Toad to use his weakness, he won't arrive at his values. Here's a good tip for casual players that use Toad against Bright. If you shoot him with 1 lemon before you switch to Toad and start using Toad on him, he won't freeze you. So it just makes your life way easier. Just pop him with that 1 lemon and then go, oh, Frame, get up there. So Frame heading into Drill, and he's going to use the Toad bullet right away at the beginning. It does 1 little damage to Drill, but that damage is just enough to save you a dive hit. So it's almost like getting a dive hit before he even dives in terms of the amount of hits you have to do to him with the missile.
Yeah, with the amount of, if you don't have any Toad shots there and you just shoot him with dive, it'll end up where he'll have 1 HP left, and a lot of times Drill Man will dive at 1 HP. So that's using that Toad shot there at the beginning of the fight really helps out. You can get this last shot for 3, or this last shot here with 3 HP left, and on your way out the door.
Drill being pretty disrespectful, but Frame making it on through. Stuntrooster, depending on what happens, there's little opportunities to catch up. Ooh,
Stuntrooster got lucky with those skull shields too. Got 2 quick skull shields, so got really lucky there.
On Pharaoh ammo, so even if he has a little bit of mishaps here, he'll be all right. Typically, if you don't get those refills earlier, you got to be real careful But man, bonking around a little bit takes the health. Heading into Dust, and Dust can be a real game changer if you're on a good pace, because you have to use your health to stop him, and depending on how confident you feel going into Machine, it could be an issue.
It looks like Stuntrooster was only able to get 3 Skull Shields on Bright, so he's going to run out of Toad Shot, or the Rain Flush, for the Drill Man. He won't have enough.
Hopefully we'll see some respect from Drill for Stuntrooster, so that way he doesn't have to sweat it too much.
Right. Get your ease in chat. Here comes the most famous sound in Mega Man right here.
I kind of like. I think it was Sage posted this video of a 10-hour loop of Mega Man weapon filling sound and
wow.
energy and life fill, and I was like, wow, this is So Frame, come on, Frame!
Careful, Frame! Oh no! Double KO! Oh no! Oh no! Ah!
The classic. Fortunately, it's really easy to die from a final hit from Wily. If you're not careful, sometimes you'll even be locked in place, and because you finish the fight, Mega Man stops moving, but the fireball's still coming.
Ouch. He's gonna have to do Buster here because he's out of ring, and he doesn't have very many drill shots left either. So that's really gonna come into play. It's really gonna open the door for Stuntrooster to make a comeback here.
So let's see what happens. This is, I don't know, maybe we'll have another Carter Freak.
Oh no, it looks like he's running low on health again. Yeah, another Carter Freak and the Great John finish here. Tight.
Oh, yeah, Frame. He does have that E-Tanks that was mentioned in chat. Errol said, hopefully he... Oh, here we go. Yeah, he went to look. You could see... I think you could see that brief pause after he paused, where he's like, do I have one? And then he did, and he's like, yes.
Ooh,
but it was low on drill.
So that drill shot is actually... The drill itself is not the weakness. The explosion is actually what causes the weakness here. He's going to have to finish out and Buster... And make sure he gets the Buster shot, the full charge shot, at the peak of his jump on to get to that nose. He's not going to be able to do it with Buster.
I'm not sure if he knows you can use charge shot. You can do it at the apex of your jump. There he goes. He figured it out. Okay, guys, this could be another great John Carter Freak match. This could be. This is insane.
This is insane. We're going to see who finishes Machine first. It's going to be close.
Oh, Frame, please! Oh my God!
Frame! Oh man, dude, Frame had me worried. Wow.
Guys, it's anybody's race now. I mean, if Frame just has a little bit of trouble and bad luck against Wily,
Stuntrooster could pull it out from him.
Wow. Insane! This could be another great John Carter Freak moment.
This is absolutely amazing. The last couple of races has just been so super close and so giving me a heart attack, man. Let's see what happens here. They are really close.
I mean, I feel bad for Frame, but I mean, from a viewer's perspective, it's pretty cool.
Right?
You know? I mean, his misfortune is our viewing pleasure,
exactly.
Unfortunately. But let's wish him some good luck going into Capsule here. Okay, Capsule's sort of like Whack-A-Mole. He'll appear in fixed locations, but it could be any of those fixed locations, and you have a very brief amount of time. Gets a double hit. This is going really well for him so far.
Missed the last double shot there. He should be okay. Gets him. Nice. Resistingframe. 43-48. Very good job. GG by Resistingframe. Meanwhile, Stuntrooster finishing his last shot here on Capsule.
Has enough ammo, should be able to do it just fine.
There you go.
GG. GG's to both the runners, man.
Wow.
They both played solid. There wasn't too huge of a gap. There was like maybe a stage worth of a gap in between them at one point. But man, at the end, it's really close Wily Machine fights. Crazy 8 robos, very exciting towards the very end, and exciting all throughout. It was very fun.
Yeah, what 15 seconds between the two of them there at the end? That's just absolutely amazing. Very well done by both runners.
Very well played. Very nice. GG's to both. Normally we would do. I don't know if we have time for interviews. We have the next race coming up in 3 minutes. We unfortunately had a bit of a slow start, so I don't know. Depending on our coordinator, we may have time for a little bit of interview. But we might just have to move into our next race, which is Squidman and Prizzy, which is also on this channel. So let me see what's going on here.
Yeah, guys, so make sure you guys stick around for the Prizzy and Squidman matchup coming up right up after this, and it's sure to be another interesting matchup in the Cossack Cup. Man, that was whew, I gotta take a breather, man. that had me going there at Wily Machine. That was awesome. Let's get GG's to both runners, and also a quick shout out to SpeedGaming for hosting this and being very helpful throughout the process. And you guys are just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I'm checking to see what we have going on. We have to set up for the next one, so I'm assuming that we'll probably be moving in, but depending on what's going on, they might make a little time to do that. So I'm just seeing.
That means with this win, Resistingframe will be moving on to the next bracket and facing Great John. A little later this coming up week, we'll have Mr. Otter versus Vanessa Prince and Jorge Morales versus Waiter. Be a really good matchup. And for the Cossack Cup, it looks like we have Ohan and Ahmad coming up next week, and Beckham and Colonel Fatso. And then this week yet to come, we'll have Not Riley 4 versus Darko, and coming up next we have Chrissy versus Squidman. That matchup will determine who faces Casio third in next week's matchups, so be interesting to see. Got a lot of cool matchups going here.
Okay, so it looks like we can do the interview. Let me see. Let me check on Squid and Prizzy though. If they are tight for schedule, it might be wise to start setting up. But let me check with them.
Looks like they're just checking some things out before we get them in here. That double, yeah, that did. I'm interested to see how Resistingframe reacts to that double KO too. To be a fly on the wall. Okay, so we'll have to make the interviews a little short because of the next matchup. But
okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll pull them in. We'll go ahead and get them here in live. We'll have a very brief talk with them, and then we got to move on very quickly to the next match. So, all right, I'm gonna. I say that, but I have to figure out how to do that.
There we go.
Oh, we're live?
Hey!
Here we are.
What's going on, guys?
GG's, guys. GG's. What a great race.
We don't have a lot of time because Prizzy and Squid's about to start. So just very briefly, if you guys want to just kind of recap your feelings, talk about the run. For us, it was very cool. We were very sad for your misfortune at the end frame, but from a viewer standpoint, man, it was awesome. The race got very close. So it was very good stuff from both of you, though. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, go ahead.
You go first, huh?
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say GG's. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there who's father. And, I guess I'm thankful that he let me keep it to be a race because I heard he had a few deaths in the double KO there. But I played slow and scared, but I went deathless. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't play as well as I'd like to, but it's a close race at the end. And I appreciate everybody for coming out. It was awesome of you.
So was that a PB for you, Stun, or was it how far off from your PB were you?
No, Vet. I almost a minute off still.
Okay.
I know it showed green. I don't know why, but
Gotcha.
definitely not a PB.
Well,
Yeah,
so we're
for
very.
me-
Go ahead, Frame. I apologize.
Yeah, for me, I just think Rush hates me, man. I don't understand. Like every time I'm on him, he just kicks me off, and then I fall into spikes.
That'll happen.
Frame is more of a rabbit guy, not a dog.
Yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, other than that, I feel like I played the stages pretty smoothly. I just had like a lot of bad hiccups that, very, very costly hiccups actually. But other than that, I feel like the movement was smooth. I just couldn't execute certain things right.
Right, you guys both did a really good job. Resisting, I just want to mention, take me back to that double KO on Wily Machine. What was kind of going through your head when how to bounce back from that?
Well, I was just trying to figure out what to do. That was actually my first time doing that fight Buster.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We were wondering if you knew that you could get a full charge shot at the apex of your jump, if you knew that or not.
No, I didn't know anything. I was just trying to, I watched Kame Sennen do a lot of Buster only Mega Man 4, so I try to get my inner Kame in.
Right.
I just pulled it off somehow.
Well, you guys did a great job. Excellent job. Once again, GG's to you both. I think we're going to have to call it now and get the next runners up and going, but I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys coming in.
All right. Thanks, Vet and Toad, for the commentary. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thanks,
and
guys.
good job, Resisting. Good luck to you.
Excellent. You guys are wonderful. Take it easy.
Take it easy. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.
All right, and then Vet and I will see you guys again shortly after we set up for Prizzy and Squidman. We'll be commentating that as well, so we will see you then. Thank you for